Mr. Teleset. Looking forward to Thursday, man. All right. We'll get this thing started. So we're 15 strong this morning. Much appreciated. Glad you guys are on. A lot of you guys have been on before. So the reason we put this, Amy and I put this meeting on in leadership is if you're recruiting, we want to make sure you have a solid understanding of the recruiting process. And if you're somebody new going through licensing, this is a great meeting for you to be on because of what you're getting ready to experience going through licensing. So that's why we put this meeting on. What we're going to cover today in a pretty rapid pace, and you guys please tell us to back up, slow down, rewind, anything like that you need. What we're going to cover today is the process, the onboarding process moving forward. We're going to cover two websites. We're going to talk about compensation level as you're bringing new people onto the opportunity. We're going to cover prosperity pretty quickly, Slack, error and omissions, boot camp, anti-money laundering, and then of course, WorkSpot. So that's what we'll cover today. Like I said, at a pretty rapid pace, but if you guys have any questions, let me know. There was a quick change to prosperity last week. I just found out about it via happenstance. I modified the information that we send out to you guys via email if you request it. But obviously just be patient with us as we're going through this process. I literally just found out about it as we were going through the process last week. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. Amy, please make sure to cut me off at any time. You always say you're not going to, and then you do because I always miss something. So glad you're here this morning. All right. So in reference to the process, guys, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here really quickly. And actually, while I'm pulling this up, we'll go ahead and cover compensation. So if you're going to be bringing someone on, and, they're going to be paying for their own leads and that kind of stuff, 15, 20% split between you and them is kosher. If I were you, I would put some type of stipulation in place that once they hit, their first 15,000 or 20,000 in business, you raise them up 5%. That way there's no real animosity. You're not going to have any issues letting your, I know it's different than probably most other places where they tell you don't talk about compensation, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a healthy thing for the most part. So just keep in mind, if you have any more than probably 20, 25% split between you and somebody, that's probably too big a gap. And, we just want to make sure we're all doing somewhat of the similar things as a team, even though you're building your own agency. So if you guys have any questions about that, you can reach out to your business partner or reach out to myself, and we're happy to walk you through that. So that's the first thing. So a couple things here. When you're talking to someone about the opportunity, we've created, leadership and I have created a website for you to be able to send people to so that you don't have to create this on your own and have that expense. I think we did a pretty decent job with it, but really this website walks them through everything that we do. There's going to be a couple nuances that are going to be changed here in the website here within the coming, let's call it weeks or months coming up. But as you can see on here, we have a couple short videos on here, the FFL overview, which we're going to walk you through how to set your own link up here in just a few moments. Excuse me. What we provide, so term, whole life, universal life, annuities, and of course, some of the other things that are coming down the pike here pretty soon. How we do it, a couple short videos on here, 5-minute overview with Sean, our CEO and president. Compensation. So you got multiple videos on here about compensation, our bonus program, and then an example of what we call a business development meeting. The virtual sales processes, there were 2 changes. So those of you guys that are selling virtual or want to sell virtually, there was 2 changes to that site last week. So you might want to go out there and take a look at that, because some of the people that you guys will talk to from a recruiting standpoint are going to be very interested in working from home and selling from home and not having to go into anyone's home and those kind of things. We've got a couple people that are making that transition. One of them on here, Brian, has just hit it really hard, dug in, and is doing extremely, extremely well. Is going to share his story with us on a podcast this Thursday. And last but certainly not least, if you have somebody that is, you send them to the site and they take a look at the site and they come on here to put their name, their email address, and then in that little message box, they put that Michael Salazar recruited them or whatever the case is. We'll send a PDF to you with their information, and then we'll even help you do the interview. So several of you have requested that I help you do the interviews. I'll do every interview you have, but I'm just asking that you're on as well, because it's going to allow you to add me as a third party. will give you credibility, but you tying it down will help you bring new people onto the opportunity because it's a pretty good one. All right. Anybody have any questions before we move forward from the website? All right. So a couple things that I'm going to move over to the Genesis website here. So a couple really quick things. I'm sure some of you guys have been out there, some of you haven't, and that's okay. Top right-hand corner, you'll see that our social media connections, if you will. On the far right-hand side is YouTube. So if you click on there, again, we didn't create this to be YouTube famous. We created it to have content out there that people can go out there, take a look at, go, maybe if they missed a meeting, whatever the case is, to be able to go back out and find information about, what to do. Case in point, here's a video 3 weeks ago from Tim doing his in-home presentation. There's another one that Tim did a couple of weeks ago about, scheduling for success. Just all kinds of stuff. If you go out here and put FFL, Mutual Omaha, FFL, how to get referrals, FFL Genesis compensation. You put it out there, we've pretty much got, stuff out here now. And then of course our podcast. So just want to let you guys know that information is out there, that content is out there. And when you start talking about our team, it legitimizes us when you're talking to people. I think we're over 100 videos out here now. So just want to let you guys know that from a resource standpoint, that's some of the stuff that we have out there. Now, as we go through the site, and this site was put together for the agents by the agents, so that when you're in a home, you pretty much have everything that you need. But also we put this out here for the onboarding process, okay, which we're going to go into here in just a moment. But what I wanted to show you is if you wanted to create your own link, okay, and what I mean by that is a link that you could send to your potential new agent or potential new teammates. If you wanted to do that, you could. So here's the deal. I'm simply going to go out here, show you guys how quickly this is. Let me go back. Where you see it says custom rogue IMO recruiting link. I'm going to tap that, and then I'm going to go and put my name in here. Now, if you had one of these and you lost the link and not sure where you saved it and all that kind of stuff, no problem. You can come back out here and recreate it, and it's not going to mess up the other one that you had. So not a big deal here. So what we're doing here is I'm creating a link, and it's going to send it to me via email. So what I'm doing is I've created a link, and here it is. All right. And what some of us have done is we've taken this link, and we've taken this link and we've went to GoDaddy, or we've gone to some type of domain company, and we've taken this link and dropped it into something shorter, just like the link that you guys clicked on this morning. Same thing. If you guys have any questions about that, just reach out to me afterwards. I'll show you how to do it. I think the link that you guys clicked on this morning, I think it cost me $2 or $3 for the year. So it's very inexpensive. It looks professional, etc. But what I'm going to do, for example, is I'm actually going to click on that crazy link that you guys see down there. And when I click on it, this is where it's going to take you. So if you go out there and create one of these and you send this to your candidate, it's going to, obviously you can see it's very clean. You can see my name is at the top of it. And then when I click on get instant access, the agent or whoever you send this to is going to fill the information out, right? That doesn't matter. So, and then we'll go. So what's going to happen is, give it just a second. And what's going to happen is it's going to notify me here in just a second that that person actually completed their registration. All right. It's taking a little bit longer than normal, but it'll notify me that that person has actually completed the registration. The video is about 15 to 16 minutes long. At the end of that period of time, what you can do is then reach back out to that person and have a conversation with them about what they thought. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? How to create your link, how to get back to it, etc. All right, perfect. I'm going to keep moving then. All right. So we've covered compensation. We've covered the website. The next thing that we'll cover very quickly, because everybody's starting to do a much better job of this, is Slack. So the reason why you want to get your new teammates on Slack as soon as possible is, first of all, they can see what's going on, right? They can see the meeting schedule. They can see all the sales. They can see, what's going on, the strings, those kind of things. We're off to a decent start. to the week. So we should be well over 40,000 again this week, which is awesome, with somewhere between 16 and 18 writers, which again is pretty cool as we can continue to get bigger. Of course, the Miami convention is coming up. If you're not registered, I would highly recommend get registered and get down to Miami 2nd through the 5th. But anyway, what we're doing here is we're sharing good news. You guys can see all the activity out here when people actually post stuff, post their sales. You want to post your sales here. You want to post it in, and if I'm talking over anybody's head, let me know, but post it here, post your sales in the daily booms. But again, it's what it creates from a standpoint of, new people coming on, understanding exactly what we do, how we do it, and, sharing good news. So, Amy, anything, or leadership, anything that you guys would add before we move forward?
No.
Perfect. All right. So really quickly, let's go into prosperity. All right. So if you have a new agent or new teammate that's coming on, one of the things that you will have to do is you have to send the prosperity code to your new teammate. Okay. This doesn't come from home office. It doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from Amy. You actually have to go in and do this. Okay. So I'm going to cover this quickly, but if any of you guys need this, I will send it out to you, or Amy will send it out to you. Just send us a Slack message and ask for the prosperity invitation setup, and we'll send this out to you. If you follow these steps, it's pretty simple. All right. There was some changes to it, but we made the changes on here. All right. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to click on insurance admin, and then it's going to simply take us out to this site. Now, the reason we're walking you through this, the first time you come out here, you're probably going to go, wait a minute, I thought I was on Prosperity site. Benchmark Administration, I guess that's the company that they use or what they've put together for their administrative site. Top right-hand corner where it says sign in, I'm simply going to sign in here. Then I'm going to put my email and password in, and I'm going to log in. Okay. Typically, I go all the way through the process here, but there's a video out there on YouTube as well on how to do this. So some of the things, I don't want to be redundant, but so when I first come out here, top left-hand corner, if you do not have what's called the invitation codes there, or it wasn't on the body of the screen when we first came in here, you'll have to call Prosperity for them to activate that for you. Excuse me. So when I came out here, I clicked invitation codes. The first time you're out here, you're not going to see any of this because you actually have to build the codes as we were talking about. Okay. So very quickly, you're just going to come down to the bottom of the screen. You're going to follow the directions that I just showed you, and you're going to fill in the boxes. That's all you're going to do. All right. For time's sake, I'm not going to cover all of this, but simply just follow the instructions on the boxes for the instructions that we'll send out to you, and you'll be good to go. Now, there are a couple things that I do want to point out. Okay. And then I'm going to split the screen to show you a couple things. So as an example, the very top one, it says FFL 100%. Okay. When you put the code in and you put all the information in, down here at the bottom, here's where you're going to label. You're going to label this. So when you come out, if you hire someone and you're going to, their starting compensation is going to be 100%, this will be the link that you'll send to them. Now, so make sure I cover this very quickly. So when you generate the code for 100%, if you keep sliding to the right where it says product and rates, our 100% is Prosperity's 85. Okay, I want to make sure I'm clear when I say that. If you start at 100% compensation with Family First, you will be paid 85% with Prosperity. Where you see the 5% right next to it, that is years 2 through 5. So that's your renewal because it's whole life, year 2 through 5. And then the 2% is year 6 through 10. All right. Anybody have any questions there as we move through this? No stupid questions on here too, by the way. Where it says notes, it says advance 9 months. So what that means is if you help someone and it's $500 a month, that'd be $6,000, right? 85% of whatever that is, let's say, which it would be, is more than $3,000. Let's call it $4,000. The maximum that they're going to give you is $3,000. Okay. Once that client has paid several payments and they've exceeded that $3,000, then they're going to start to pay you out the other half of your commission there. Which, like I said, let's say your commission was $6,000. Okay. You are vested immediately. So what that means is, you're vested immediately. So what that means is you don't have to wait to get your renewals. A lot of our competitors, as you guys know, because you guys have come from some of the competitors, you have to be there 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case is to get your renewals, which is nuts. And the last two things that I'll point out here is for the contracting link. If you hit the little green button, it'll give you the link. You can drop it in an email or text someone, whatever you'd like to do to send them the link for this particular code. And then the blue button is just an email. So if you click the email, it's going to literally open up an email with the code in it, and you can go from there. So whichever is easier for you. Any questions on Prosperity? All right, perfect. I'm either getting really good at this or you guys are really sleepy, one or the other. All right. So if somebody is wanting to get an additional license, so they're licensed already and they're wanting to get a non-resident license where it says state licensing requirements, I'm going to click on that. And what this does is it runs you through all 50 states on what to do to get licensed. This is very handy. Some states require you get fingerprints, some don't, whatever the case, whatever your other requirements are, but you can simply come out here, go through the process, figure out what you need to do for non-resident license. Okay. All right, boot camp. So I would venture to say a lot of people don't do the boot camp until they actually get here and realize that they've maybe put themselves in a little bit of a deficit or don't know everything they need to know. And it's pretty obvious when people start asking me questions anyway, when I'm talking to people if they've done the boot camp or not. I will tell you, as I know that we have a couple new people on here, please take the time to go through the boot camp. You're just going to help yourself out, which means you're going to help more clients and you're going to make this process a lot easier on yourself. The second thing is you're going to be 50% further ahead than somebody that didn't complete the boot camp. Okay. So when you come out here, a couple things I want to show you guys very quickly. When you come out here to the boot camp and you're going through the training, I'm just going to click start here really quick. Two things. When you're going through the training and you've completed watching the video, make sure that you scroll down and answer the questions. Okay. After you answer the questions in the videos, and they're not trying to stump you guys, I just want you to go through it and ask you, just some questions and some reminders. Once you go through the video, on the top right-hand portion of the screen, hopefully you guys can see that, it says complete and continue. Once you've passed the little quiz at the bottom of each one of these videos,
of FFL America.
Once you've passed the quiz on each one of those, that little button is going to light up. That's what you have to click to advance through to the next series or the next set of videos. Okay, I want to point that out because I do get that question. I don't get it as much as I used to, but we do get that question from time to time. How do you advance through to the next set? But if you haven't gone through this, I highly recommend you do. And for those of us that are recruiting people, which is pretty much everybody that's on here, you need to make sure you go through it so you understand what you're asking your agents to do. It's just going to help you and help them. All right. I don't want to get too far into that. AML, also known as anti-money laundering. When you go through Prosperity is going to require that you complete AML. Anti-money laundering just basically means you're going through a course that says that you understand you're not going to steal people's money. That's essentially all it is. Two things. Prosperity has their own. You will watch the Prosperity one. There's no quiz or anything like that. Once it's done, you're good to go with Prosperity. And the second thing is when you're doing AML, we found there's a couple of different places that you can use, but we found that WebCE has been really good here in the last several months. It ranges anywhere from $10 a month up to, $10 to $15. It's one time. And you pay it, you go on there, you click on that you're wanting to do AML, find your state, complete the course, and then save it. Make sure you save that because you will need it to put into, I almost said HCMS. You have to save it to put into Insurance Bay and any place else that's requiring you to have it, obviously. Amy, anything I've missing so far?
No.
Okay, perfect. Anybody have any questions? Because we're almost a wrap, believe it or not. All right, we'll keep moving. So
Corey,
far, guys, yes, sir.
Sorry.
No, you're
So
fine.
just to go back a little bit, I've looked through and I didn't see any videos for training for Transamerica. Maybe I was tripping. but
Nope.
I saw the other.
They're
go ahead.
coming out. No. They're great question. The ones that Tim did a couple weeks ago, I'm getting a couple things taken care of. Those will be out here in the next probably 48 to 72 hours. They'll be on
Perfect.
YouTube. Yeah.
Neat. All right. Appreciate you, boss.
Yeah, they're really good. They're very, very good. Tim did an excellent job, by the way.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Let's see. So far, guys, we're almost done. We've covered anti-money laundering. We covered boot camp. We've covered Slack, prosperity, compensation, the website. The last two things that we'll cover, and then we'll go over the process so that you understand exactly what's going to happen. Well, you guys have gone through it, but some of you guys that are new, or as you're bringing new agents on, it may have been a while since you've gone through it. All right. If you guys are interested in, make sure that we don't have to come back out here. Let me do this in a different order. That way we don't have to keep coming back and forth. So let me do this here really quickly. For those of you guys that are new that might not have heard of WorkSpots, what WorkSpots is a third-party company that FFL is partnered with. Over 250 offices across the country that use WorkSpots. So basically what it does, it allows you to go into any WorkSpots office across the country. And I mean, the coolest part about WorkSpots, in my opinion, is I know, especially at our office here the other day, dial day on Monday. I mean, we had, 8, 9 people in the office. It was 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and there were still 5 of 6 of us there just talking about, I know Brian was there. I know Jeremy was there. Kelly was there. Just several of us that were there at the office. And what it does is, I know it comes right out of the Bible, but iron sharpens iron, right? So we're just sharing ideas. I know Brian was talking about some things that he was doing and just opened up and really said, hey, here's what I'm doing. This is what works. This is what I tweaked. This is what's, the reason why I'm having the success that I'm having now. It took me a while to figure it out, but that's what happens when you're in the office, and this business isn't so lonely when you're trying to do it from your home by yourself. WorkSpots is $99 a month, but the discounts that you get, I bought 3 sets of leads over the last probably 72 hours and saved about close to $400 that I saved. So it pays for itself alongside all the other things that it does with car rental and everything else. So we just want to make you guys aware of what your resources are. At our office, high-speed internet, water, coffee, soda, snacks, all that kind of stuff. But the biggest part is just being around the bigger team, as Tim Bilo says all the time. And, just being around some other people that are going to pour into you and just sharing ideas for us to get better. So any questions about WorkSpots, let me know. You can simply go to workspots.org, sign up. Please use St. Louis as your local office, and go from there. All right. So what I'm going to do now is take myself off of, I don't like talking into that and not being able to see anybody. So the last couple of things, guys, that we'll cover before we let you guys get back about your day is the full process here. Okay. So the first thing is when your new candidate gets into the system. Now, this is once they're licensed. I got it right this morning, Amy. Once they're licensed, they'll receive this. Guys, just please take some time to look through this. I mean, it literally goes step by step what your new candidate has to do to get licensed, but just take some time and go through it. And for those of us that don't like reading it, it even has pictures, right? All right. So a little funny there for this morning. So here's the deal. You have talked to your new potential candidate, or you mentioned it to them, or they saw that you saw online that you're doing well and those kind of things, and they're interested in the process, right? First thing you're going to do is you're going to send them the video. So you can either create your own custom rogue IMO link that we were discussing, or you can send them directly to the Join FFL Genesis website, and that should have everything that they need from there, right? Let's say you've done that, and that person says, yes, I want to come on board. What you're then going to do is go online and complete the onboarding form. Does anybody have any questions of where to find the onboarding form? And there are no stupid questions. So if everybody's good there, I'll keep moving. All right. So you're going to complete the onboarding form. What that does is it sends that form to Amy and I. We get that person in the system, and then they will get a welcome email. Okay. 2 different things, licensed versus non-licensed. So let's start non-licensed first. Once we get the information in the system, now let me take a step back. When you fill out that information is for you to fill out, not the candidate, because they're not going to know what to put in there. Okay. You're going to send that information, fill out the form. That information comes into us, and then Amy generates a welcome email. That welcome email is very simple for a non-licensed person. It's going to have the discount code. And not only is going to have the discount code, that's going to make it the licensing training course free. It's going to have the discount code in there and everything else they'll need to get started. Okay. Now I'm going to take you guys through a really quick, show the screen here, and I promise I'll stay out of it going back and forth. When we have a new candidate that I bring on, I walk them through what this looks like every single time so that the first time they come out here, they're not confused. Okay. And this is going to save you some time. Excuse me. So I literally walk them through here. I click enroll now. If they're speaking English, they're going to go English pre-licensing, which is the top one. You're going to find their state. So let's go down here and find Missouri. I'm going to click on Missouri. And then the one that they need is Missouri Life pre-licensing. Okay. And I literally walk them through the process. You're going to click the 199. You're going to click go to cart. And then that code that Amy sent you, you're going to copy and paste this code in here. Make sure there's no spaces on the front and back. And then when they hit apply, it's going to make this 199. It's going to make it $0. Then I tell them, you're going to proceed to checkout. You're going to create a username, password, and you're going to start the test or start the testing process in reference to pre-licensing. Now, I also let them know they have 2 weeks to go in and actually complete this information, or we're going to withdraw our offer. 2 weeks is plenty of time. The second part about this is now we have access to be able to, and go in and look and see what our candidates are doing, if they've gotten registered, if they've started the process, everything else. So if you guys want that link, just send me a Slack message, Amy and I Slack message, and we'll get the username, password information out to you. It's pretty slick. All right, so you've done all that stuff. Amy sent the information out. They have 2 weeks to get everything done, right? Week from now, your candidate's gone through the stuff. They went in, they set their exam up, they passed their exam. Congratulations. What should happen then is after that person has passed their exam, you then need to notify Amy and I via Slack that John Smith has passed his exam, and we need what's called his NPN or his national producer number. Most of you guys have probably pretty solid idea what that is. Once you notify us with that information, then Amy will then release what else they need. And then once she sends that out, then they can start the process of getting actually licensed. Now, the email that they're going to get is going to be from HCMS. Okay. That email is sent out to them. They're going to complete their information. They're going to get a second email saying that they've done it. And then they're going to get a third email that's going to have a link that's going to take them to SuranceBay. Now I'm going to slow down here for a second. Does anybody have any questions about HCMS so far? And we post it pretty much daily. Make sure you get your codes entered into HCMS. As the email are coming into me, I'm going to forward them out to your new agent as well as yourself and Amy. And please, if it's a company that they need to put into HCMS, we notify them. Please enter your agent code into HCMS. Very important that they do that. All right. So you fill out all the information for HCMS. HCMS says, thank you for doing that. They send you the code for SuranceBay. Now, when they go into SuranceBay, they're going to see all kinds of carriers there that they can select from in SuranceBay. There's only 3 carriers that they're going to want to apply for on SuranceBay. Okay, those 3 are Americo, AIG, and Mutual of Omaha. That's it. They don't need to apply for any of the other carriers around there. If they click on the carriers, they're going to get declined. They get sent back. So please make sure to explain that to your guys. Americo, AIG, and Mutual of Omaha. Those are the only 3 carriers that they're going to send in for SuranceBay. The last portion of this, though, what's going to happen is they're now having to go back to HCMS, and they're going to apply for the other several carriers: American Amicable, Foresters, Aetna, John Hancock, Great Western, Transamerica. Those are the other carriers that they're going to apply for. And keep in mind, you're going to send them Prosperity. So your new agent's going to have 10 carriers. Trust me when I tell you, they don't need any more carriers to write the business that they're going to write. All right. Now, I'll throw one little caveat out there. With American Amicable, there's a sister company that they have called Occidental. If you have agents in Iowa, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Jersey, Rhode Island, or Vermont, you will also have to get appointed with Occidental. The last thing I'll mention about this, and then I'm going to swing back to leadership to see if they have anything to add or if you guys have any questions. When you have agents that are outside of your resident state, so let's say I'm in Missouri and I have a licensed agent in Georgia, I need to have a Georgia license, and here's why. Some companies require you to have a license in that state, what's called a non-resident or reciprocity license in that state in order to get compensated. Some don't. I will tell you my honest professional opinion, if you have an agent in a state and you're wanting to collect overrides by helping that agent, get a license. A lot of times they're not very expensive. You can go on to NIPR and do that. We have a video on YouTube about how to apply for a license as well. So I think it's 4 or 5 minute long video. All right, Amy, anything that you'd add? I got it all right today. Any questions from anyone? I think we have a question in the box here. Was taking really needed. What the prosperity changes do I need to edit, redo? No, nope. You're going to be good to go, Christy.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Just for the whole group, how are people doing with their list?
I asked leadership on Sunday if they've started, and I don't think anybody has. Amy and I have started working on ours. So have you done anything with yours yet, Brian? Okay, I guess we lost Brian. Any other questions?
Yep.
Perfect. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully this was informative. If you guys need anything, or maybe there was a question you didn't want to answer on here, reach out on Slack, give me a call. We're happy to help you guys out. Thank you for your time this morning, and obviously helping us build the organization as well as you build yours. So bye for now, guys. Be great. We'll talk to you soon.